double honors to the elders and apostles of good news, and shalom also to the one-dead Israelites, which include you Judas children, okay, you so-called Nikos, Latinos, and Indians, who are still oppressed together, according to the book of Jeremiah 50 and 33, but to whom soleil pertained the adoption, the giving of the law, the promises, the glory, and the covenants, basically everything, okay, that has to do with the Bible, in the first sense, okay. Actually, all the other people have nothing to do with the scriptures anyway. So of course I talk about the blood descendants also, which the blood descendants are. Somebody who would not appear as like, okay, but his seed line on his father's side goes back to Jacob, his name was later changed to Israel. And also you have to consider, okay, that it says being spread to the four corners of the earth. And for what I know, four corners of the earth means basically global. So if you have something global, it doesn't mean, oh, you know, it's Israel, or it's Japan, or it's, okay, America. No. Okay, four corners of the earth, being spread to the four corners of the earth means basically being everywhere in every country, just like it talks about in the book of Revelation about the nation of Israel, okay, that you have people with palm trees in their hands, okay, from every language, from every country, not specifically country, but from every language, from every tongue, right? Which means you have like every nation, if you will, heathen nation, which has Israelites in it, okay. So again, Israel is as the sand of the sea, like the scripture says. So of course you have, if it talks about being spread into the four corners of the earth, you have Israelites in every country. You know, you have to connect things. You have to read line upon line, precept upon precept. If one precept says four corners of the earth, the other one says palm trees in their hands, from every language, from every tongue, you know. And the other one says Israel is as the sand of the sea, only a remnant shall be saved. So of course you have that much Israelites, but only a remnant shall be saved. And that is further even a confirmation of what we talked about in the first sense, because how can it be that everybody can be saved if not even all Israel can be saved? Only 1/3 of Israel can be saved, right? 2/3, according to the book of Zechariah, will not be saved, but will be destroyed, okay? Just look at this wicked rulership, and then you know why it's not, and then you know why the world and its inhabitants deserved what really soon we will witness, okay, which already you can witness it, man. Okay, I don't want to put my child in the kindergarten, couple of years ago already it was kind of like that, you know, where I would say, like, even if I would have a child, I would not put it in some kindergarten here in Germany, in Thiemen basically, or somewhere else. You may think, okay, but I can do that in another country, but in other countries it's even more wicked, especially if you go to direction America. You will have many problems following you that are basically sometimes even bigger, okay? The land where you basically grew up, where you were born, okay, you know things in a certain way better, you know, because you're used to it, you know the system better, you know, and things like that. So, you know, so I can just talk for myself being here in Germany and Thiemen. I can talk for somebody who is living somewhere else, okay? You may have laws that are kind of different in some topics. Anyway, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 10. Now I, Paul, beseech you by the meekness and gentleness of Yahweh Shai, who in presence am base among you. Okay? Gentleness of Yahweh Shai, okay, or the world ignorantly calls him Christ, who in presence base among you, but being absent from bold toward you. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some which think of us as if we walk according to the flesh, which is not the case. Okay, just look at the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Okay, we are the ones, okay, the hopefully elect, who are the only ones, okay, who don't walk after the flesh, because you really have to have that mindset, okay, to basically proclaim the Bible how it is. Okay, so basically, according to our doctrine, you can see already, okay, if we are about the flesh or not. Okay, you would not teach the 100% doctrine or gospel, better said, okay, if you are not spirit 100%, okay, or basically if you are not completely laying off the flesh. Okay, so that's why you have people who have doctrines that are just 98% true. Okay, some doctrines are just 60% true. Some doctrines, which are these churches, are basically 20% somewhere. Okay, so you have of course a certain percentage which you can guess, because really you have to even say that some groups and churches are even less than 1% in the doctrine. Okay, because there's really no benefit than actually wasting time. Okay, and if you are long enough in the truth, you will see even faster such things. You see even faster what is what. Yeah. Okay, so people who could possibly come to the truth are good, don't get me wrong, but don't get confused of what people trying to teach you. Okay, because you may, without even knowing it, okay, you may think, oh, this and this about the scriptures, but really you wasn't listening to the truth. You was listening to some false prophet out there. Okay, so it depends, like I said, if you have immunity or not. Okay, somebody who is in the truth, okay, if he's really stable, he can listen to anybody. It will not harm his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay, but like I said, not everybody is the same. Okay, so let's continue. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty to God, to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, verse 5, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Do you look, Salachia, on things after the outward appearance? If any man trust to himself that he is Yahweh, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Yahweh, even so are we Yahweh. For dogged I should boast somewhat more of our authority, which the Lord had given us for edification, and not for your destruction. I should not be ashamed. Like the scripture says in another part, talks about, I know my dogs that I have for you, and they are basically good. Okay, and it's Yahweh basically talking right there. Okay, and that is a true thing. Okay, even sometimes through all this Jacob's trouble, you may believe that this is not the case, but actually right there you got the confirmation that you are one of these hopeful elect, okay, who is basically gold in the fire, man. Okay, right there you got it. Okay, so every brother, of course, is, or even sister, is tested different. Okay, every child is tested, so-called child, because really there's no child. Okay, the scripture gives you the information about Khan, of course, something, okay, which you have a boy that is 12 years old is already adult. Okay, But like I said, according to these wicked laws and things like that, you have completely confusion. Okay, a woman is a woman when she has her first period, which brings us back to the real law. Okay, which is benefiting, which is good, which is aesthetic, which is soon to become again. Okay, because it was already here. So let's continue. Verse 8, for we, no, for a dog I should boast somewhat more of our authority which the Lord had given us for edification, and not for your destruction. I should not be ashamed, that I may not seem as if I would terrify you by letters. For his letters say they are ragey and powerful, but his bodily presence is weak and his speak contemptible. Okay, that's such. And one thing this, that such as we are in word by letters, when we are absent, such will be also indeed when we are present. For we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves, but they're measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise. Okay, like I said, okay, churches, okay, the Amalekites, okay, these fake Jews, which are the synagogue of Satan. Okay, look up the book of Revelation. They comparing themselves among themselves. Okay, but really, if they are really on the table, or basically if they come facing the truth, the truth and the Bible, which is the same thing, you see that it's not longer working. Okay, you see that they are basically ashamed because they see that we have the truth. Okay, and they basically were in darkness. Okay, but all about themselves still. Okay, so people who are all about them who are all about not receiving information, that will stay by themselves and kind of like staying in darkness. Okay, where this is not for coincidence called the way, truth. Okay, I am the way, the light, and the truth. You know, the life. Okay, the truth and the way. Okay, I believe in the scripture. In the scripture, it is in that way. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Okay, this is how you can read it in the scriptures. Okay. Yeah, you know, you can't stay at where you once were, man. You have to figure out. Basically the truth. You can't just stay where you are, man. Okay, for example, I started when I was born. And then I believe I can't say it for sure, but I believe 20 or something, maybe something like that, where I figured out that I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And since that, I was basically studying whole lot of topics, man. I was studying about GMS, okay, more, because I found out that I'm an Israelite. So if you don't know that you're an Israelite, you know, you don't have that spiritual awakening, which is kind of like supernatural, then you won't you know, eventually you will not be in GMS, or you are even an Israelite, but you're of the two dirts. Okay, one of these two things. Okay, and we don't know who you are of these two, but you will find it out yourself according to your end shows who you are, basically, or what you did, man. Okay, so the end of a man shows his Google. You can Google that. but it shows really how he is, basically. Let me say it like that, okay? It shows really who you are, basically. So let's continue. Verse 12, for we dare not make ourselves of them. Sorry, okay, the text is so small. For we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves, but measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise. Verse 13, but we will not boast of things without our measure, but according to the measure of the will which God had distributed to us, our measure to reach even unto you. For we stretch not ourselves beyond our measure, as thought we reached not unto you, for we are come as far as to you also in preaching the gospel of Yahweh. Okay. Verse 15, not boasting of things without our measure, that is, of other men's labors, but having hope, when your faith is increased, that we shall be enlarged by you according to our rule abundantly, to preach the gospel in the regions beyond you, and not to boast in another man's line of things made ready to our hand. But he that glorieth, let him glory in the Lord. For not he that commended himself is approved, but whom the Lord commended. You see? So you have all these different books, man. Okay, every day you have. If you would Google that, you will find out about something. I never did that, but I just expected. Okay, I guess. If you Google how much books are published every day in the world, okay, globally, you better believe that it's a really high number that you didn't expect it, man. Okay, you have so much people having just, it's a lucky for my French, really just so much shit in their head, man, that it's basically not worth to read anything than the Bible, to be 100% exact. But of course, you know, Yahweh Shai says, don't take them out of the world, but you know, basically show the people that we are not of the world, right? So we're still living here, man. So sometimes you read a book about cooking, okay? Sometimes you read a book about certain plants, sometimes, you know, so you don't want to be over righteous and things like that, right? And you want to, of course, find your character, okay? Even before the kingdom, if you are in this last generation, you want to find out who you really are, man. Okay, starting right here with the truth. And you want to find out who you really are, what your character is. And guess what? That character will be the same in the kingdom, but you will be changed to what you really are, which means in a physical form. Now you are mentally what you are, and in the kingdom you will be mentally and physically what you are, you see? So that's why we are these fallen angels, okay? These fallen angels are nobody else than the one dirt, hopefully elect 144,000, okay? So with that, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Bashem, Kokedash, yeah, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.